G'day guys. Plan for today, I'm going to try and shoot a couple of different videos. We're going to put out some geocaches. We're hopefully going to find a geocache that I've been after for a while. It's a fair way out in the middle of nowhere. I'm going to try and get to that one. And the other thing I want to do today is test this bit of kit here. This is a Maxpedition Condor 2 backpack, which I got recently. Haven't had a chance to try it out. It's basically the standard rig. It's in foliage green, which, as anyone who watches my channel knows, the colour I go for. On this side I've attached my FR1 first aid kit, which is a fully set up first aid kit that's attached with tack ties. On the other side here I've got a Maxpedition canteen holder, again held on there with tack ties with a canteen in it. Got a couple of geocaches inside, as I mentioned. We're going to hide them. A couple of bits and pieces, gloves, insect repellent up here, and the usual contingency items in here, and a 3-litre water bladder contained in there. So this is the first day I've had a chance to actually get out and wear this and see what it's like. My only concern with these pouches either side is with the arm movement. It's going to restrict that coming back, so I'll be interested to see how that works out. If it doesn't work out, I might have to reconfigure it. Anyway, come along for the trip today and we'll see how we end up. Let's go do it. Well, so far this pack's impressing me. One thing I did add that I did this pack I didn't mention earlier is I've got a Maxpedition single sheath just here up on the shoulder, and inside that got a Leatherman Wave just for quick access, or a multi-tool. You notice that when you put the strap on that there's that weight on it when you swing it over your shoulder, but once it's on there it's actually really good. You don't know it's there at all, and it's, as I say, quick and handy if you want to get at it. A couple of issues, just the water bladder here. I've got a Black Wolf one in because I don't have the recommended Camelback one, and I just find you've got to bend down or bend your head down a lot to get to it, because if you try and bend this up too far, what happens is on this strap, the retaining strap, it'll pinch the pipe and you won't get your water through. So maybe the Camelback one might be a bit better. If I can find somewhere to buy a 3-litre Camelback, perhaps I'll do that. But otherwise, as I say, pretty good. The shoulder straps are very nicely padded. The sternum strap is keeping everything in place really nice. The back of it feels really comfortable. So yeah, enjoying it. The side packs, yeah, if I swing my arm back, I know they're there. The first aid pouch doesn't matter, it's a bit soft, but that noise there, that's the canteen pouch. Not too bad. I'll see how that goes. A little bit undecided whether they'll stay there yet. Really good day to be out here anyway. Nice and cool at the moment. It's only about 8:45 in the morning. Looks like we've got the place to ourselves, which is terrific. So we'll go find a spot to hopefully hide a geocache or two. If you guys can see this, but which you often find out here, Australian bush, this big spider web across the track, probably made by a golden orb-weaver spider who doesn't seem to be in residence, but we'll just duck under and around that. Trying to get that wrapped around your face. And behind that is my natural enemy in the bush. That's lantana. Horrible noxious weed. Don't be fooled by the pretty flowers. It's a spiky, rampant thing that's basically taken over the Australian bush. It's everywhere. Horrible, horrible stuff. Introduced species. You can see it all through there. And in the real thick stuff, we'll probably get a bit of a look in there for you. You might be able to see how much that tangles up, and quite a bit of work if you do need to actually hack your way through that. As you can see, it's all knotted up and intertwined, and it can be really hard work. Alright, we'll keep motoring up this track and see where this takes us. Now, due to the way I've designed this particular geocache, I'm looking for a very particular kind of hiding spot. I've had a bit of a look around and sort of narrowed down to around about there. So yeah, we'll get the cache out and see if it's going to work on this particular tree stump here. We'll come back to you guys. Yeah, I think this is going to work. Actually, it's a PVC tube. I've got a mount on off an old fire extinguisher. So I think 2 screws. That's why I wanted a dead tree, a stump. Screw that into without actually hurting a living tree. Just got a little bit of decoration on the top. Now this could be seen as a spoiler video, but I assure you I'm not going to put this video up on YouTube until after the cache has been published and at least the first to find logged on it. So anyone who's seen this video, it's already been found. So let's get that thing on, get some tools out and see how we go. Okay, that's secured on nicely. We'll just make sure that our container's going to fit back in there. And that it comes out easily, which it does. Excellent, happy with that. Now you might also notice up on top here, I've just got the GPS sitting up there. And the reason I do that is to let it settle in and make sure I get nice exact coordinates. Really good today. The satellite accuracy on the GPS is showing as 3 metres. So by letting that sit there for a little while, and I'll double check my coordinates, I'll put it in as a waypoint, also write them down. I'll walk away, I'll come back from a couple of different directions just to check that my coordinates are nice and accurate. There's nothing worse than if you get a geocache and the coordinates are miles out, it makes it pretty difficult and pretty damn annoying. So I go to a little bit of trouble to try and get that as accurate as I possibly can. This little creep is going to be good too. That means we can put a little bit of cover over that, and yeah, that should be good. So what I'll do from here is I'm just going to log the coordinates, get my waypoint in, check it like I was saying. I'll walk it in from at least 2 different directions, make sure I'm happy, and then we'll head off and hopefully find a place to put down another one out here. I've just branched off the main trail, and again I'm looking for a suitable place to hide another cache. I've gone a good distance away from where I put the last one, and I really want another dead tree that remains. Oh, this one looks interesting. Let's have a look at it. Oh yeah. Yep, whoops, slipping and sliding. Yeah, this looks real promising. Especially with that hole there. The way this is going to mount, it's going to work. I think get the cache out and give it a try. Yep, this is going to work. This one's just going to be held with a piece of wire which I'm going to loop over using the multi-tool. So I've just got to shape it a little bit for that part of the tree there. I just want to get it hooked in nice and neat against that stump if I can. Alright, hope you guys can see that. That was pretty good to me. Okay, well I just finished checking the coordinates, came in from 2 different ways. I did have to alter this one a little bit. The first one was spot on, this one just a little bit out, but it's really good now. Alright, so we're going to leave the lizard in peace out here in the bush until someone comes to find him. Let's move on. I just started off on the walk out to this find, this single cache. According to the GPS from where I've left the vehicle, 6.2 kilometres each way to find this thing. So it's a fairly significant bit of effort to go to for one cache. 10 o'clock in the morning, set off, so I'm going to try and get out there pretty quick, push through and just see how we go. But the only way to get a smile on the map is to find the things. And there is probably a shorter way in there, but I wanted to go this way also just to give this pack a try out. As I said in that other part of the video, I've been pretty impressed with it so far, but I figure by the end of the run out there and back, that'll be another 12 kilometres hiking the thing. I'll have a much better idea of what I think of it by then, and I'll probably end up doing maybe a desktop review of it at home or something like that, tell you guys my opinions, maybe even do one out here, who knows. It's nice easy going at the moment, very sandy sort of track, as you can see, quite clear. Nice and level, which is nice. Later on we're going to get some elevation changes and things, and there's a few twists and turns. So that 6.2 kilometres out that I quoted was a straight line compass bearing. By the time you take into account all the twists and turns on the track, probably going to be closer to 7 k's each way. Fairly lush and green out here. Unfortunately, a lot of it's that bloody horrible lantana. Just miles of it. You can see we've had quite a lot of water through this section. Let's just wash the track out a little bit there. Still a little bit of water flowing, not too much. That's where we've come from. Looks like all the flat easy going is done for the minute. We're working for a living now. Quite rocky, steeper than no doubt it looks on this video. Oh, we'll keep trudging along. I've just branched off that main trail. It didn't seem to be going the direction I wanted. This one does. It's no idea where this trail goes. Of course, across the trail we've got the obligatory golden hornweaver spider. So we'll duck under that one and we'll keep going. We're about halfway there as the crow flies, about 3.1 kilometres to go. And if that other track did branch off too much further in the wrong direction, that might have become a bit of a problem time-wise, so I say no real idea of where this goes, but it's heading in the right direction, so I figure it's worth a try. I've returned back to that main trail. I followed that little one a few hundred metres and just didn't feel right, so I came back onto this one, probably a safer bet. The trail that I'm on, I don't think is the one that I actually meant to be on. I think I'm a little bit further west than I wanted to be, and as a result I'm not getting the distance down to ground zero to the cache location as quickly as I would have liked, so it could be a little bit of a longer day. I think once I get down to this creek then I should be able to cut across on that and hopefully get it heading in the right direction. At least this is relatively easy going. Have had a few drops of rain. To show you guys the sky there, it's all in patches, but a little bit of overcast out there. So I think if we do get rain, it'll probably just be a few showers. You can see some darker stuff there. I think nothing too much to worry about. And sure as hell, it's not going to dissuade me from finding this cache after coming out all this way. I promise you that. Okay, I don't know if you guys are going to read this on the GPS screen. Maybe not. Probably 2.4 kilometres from the cache at this point. If I pull the map up, I'm not sure this is going to show up on the video. The tricky part's going to be to get down this valley just here, and then over here there's a extremely steep section. You can tell by the contour lines on the map there to get up onto where the cache is. So I think it could be a pretty tough old 2 kilometres. Go find out, I guess. Okay, well, that's the creek crossing that I saw on the map, and the cache is a couple of k's basically straight along through there. However, looking at the topographic map, the easiest way might be to try and at some point up within a few hundred metres hopefully spear off to the right, and there's a ridge or a spur that looks like it might be a little bit easy to climb to get up onto the elevation I need to get to this cache. If I go in a straight line, just following the compass bearing, it's a very steep section, looks like it could almost be cliffs, so I probably want to try and avoid that, but it's really just going to be suck it and see as I go. Just climbing up out of that creek, it's pretty steep, coming to a nice section of sandstone on the trail, looks almost like giant stairs as you go up here. Wish it was a giant escalator, just stand still and be taken up automatically, that'd be sweet. I come to a junction of the trail, compass is pretty much pointing straight through, but that ridge line that I spoke about looks like that track there might follow. It's certainly running uphill, which is good and bad. It means I've got to go uphill, but it should put me up on that ridge And that's where I want to be. Looks like I've got a bit lucky. This track, nice vehicle track, easy to walk on. Steep in places, but it's following the ridge line up. And if you look either side here, you can see the land dropping away, particularly on this side. Drops away quite steeply. We're about 1.5 kilometres as the crow flies from ground zero, but that's sort of right through there. You can see that bit of land, that hill. So obviously it's going to curve around, so probably got a couple of kilometres of walking to do, still a fair bit of uphill to actually get to where we need to be. It's getting a little bit of light rain now. I think it's going to be just a brief shower. I'm not going to bother putting rain gear or anything on. It's actually quite pleasant. It's gotten quite warm, so I don't mind it at all. Actually, it's really good, very refreshing. Still on that ridge trail, making our way towards ground zero. Endlessly uphill. What are we getting there? Just stop for a breather. Oh man, I've been climbing pretty well for the last 20 minutes or so. We've got about half a kilometre to go on this track. The track's still hanging in there, so we haven't had to go bush yet. And just thought I'd give those a look just across through there. It's a nice pointy little hill. Well, on that hill is a cache that I put in. And the cache we're going to today was put in by a gentleman who chose that cache of mine as his 3000th find. And the guy's name is Crew 153, and when he was out here to do that as his 3000th, he put this cache in. So naturally I've always intended to get out here and find this one. Yeah, a little bit of trivia. We'll keep going, we're nearly there. It's got blowing down in one of the recent storms. Hasn't stopped the trail bright, guys. They must be pushing them through there. Drop the ride where you take your head clean off. According to this friend GPS, we're about 25 metres out, and this trail's still holding up. So we're still on it, which is excellent. It's made life a lot easier. So, swivel the camera around. See where we're going. You guys can join me on the hunt for this thing. Straight in through there apparently. 17 metres. I'm not going to give away the actual hiding spot, but it's pretty obviously in amongst these rocks here. So we'll find the cache without giving away its exact spot. I'm going to sit down for a well-earned rest and have a bite to eat. Okay, found it. Classic ammo tin. Without doubt the best container to put out in the bush. It's virtually zero maintenance. These things, just nothing goes wrong. They sit here for 10 years and they're fine. Not a lot in there, which I don't blame Crew 153 for, because there's a lot of weight to cut all the way out here, and I wouldn't fill up too much stuff either. For those of my channel aren't into geocaching, it's got the usual thing, a cache note in here to tell people why it's out here. Logbook, which we just signed. There we go, that's me. And yeah, that's the view for those who want to have a quick look out there. And of course, looking for this thing, I did manage to rummage around and put a small cut on the end of one of my fingers, so now I'm sporting a band-aid I wasn't wearing when I came out here. No big deal, just disinfected it. I had the first aid kit on me and sealed her up, and the great thing, look at that first little bit of blood stain there on the first aid kit. I feel it's really crisp now, so I'm going to sit here and take in the ambience for a while and rest my feet and my legs, because I've got to tell you they're killing me. Have a bite to eat, suck down some more water, and then head back. Most of it should be downhill, at least in the initial part, because it was all uphill coming out. And I think where that ridge trail started, I'm going to swing east from there at that junction, and hopefully that'll put me on the track that I meant to be on initially. Just looking at my track on the GPS, there's a bit of a dog leg there. Turn around so I can talk to you guys face to face. So yeah, there's a bit of a detour I really didn't need to take, so if I can iron that out on the way back, that'll save me a bit of time. Took just under 2.5 hours from when I set off to get out here. So probably not too bad, all things considered. Right, see you guys after we eat, and might chat to you again on the way back. Oh, just had half an hour's break, bite to eat, and then just started the journey back. Now I know some of you will be watching this, particularly people who aren't geocachers. Most of the people on my channel aren't, thinking, you must be bloody mad, Mark, walking that far out, doing that just to find an ammo box with a notebook in it. Yeah, you've probably got a point. But what the hell? I mean, got me out in the open air, out and doing a bit of adventure somewhere I haven't been before. And I've got to tell you, there's a real sense of achievement to find a cache like that, you know, that's no drive-by cache. No one's pulling up in their car alongside that one and just signing the book and motoring off. You got to work for these ones, and they're my favourites for that reason. Excuse me. So yeah, look, I guess geocaching, like many of you, is just a little bit mad, but it's all part of life's rich tapestry, the endless battle against boredom. And I mean, I'll be glad when I get back to the car park, don't get me wrong, it's been a tough run out. But as it is now, having made that find and heading back, feeling pretty damn good about it. Real sense of accomplishment with that. Alright, here's something that might be of interest to some of you guys. It's way off in the distance. I'll try and zoom it in. See that spherical white shape there? Sorry, I don't have a tripod on me at the moment, so it's going to be a bit shaky. That's a weather radar, way in the distance. It's like a giant golf ball. Well, I must admit, I'm struggling a bit on this return journey. Seems a heck of a lot longer than the outbound journey. Came back basically the same way, so I haven't shot much, well, I haven't shot any footage really. Didn't see any wildlife or anything interesting to show you guys. I know my overseas viewers are probably thinking, why aren't you showing us the kangaroos and the wallabies? Well, basically you don't see them. I seen one wallaby early this morning. The only reason I saw him is because he belted across the track into the scrub. By the time I'd even thought about reaching for the camera, he was out of there. So it's not quite that easy. I will try. Anyway, probably about 20 odd minutes away from the car. Boy, I can't wait to get in and crank the air conditioning on, I tell you. Really looking forward to that. Anyway, that's what I check in. Still alive, still plodding. Well, that's that. Back in the car with the air conditioner pumping, and I've got to tell you, it feels bloody fantastic. Yeah, that was a really full day. So not much daylight left. At least not enough to do anything significant with. So what did we do today? We only got one find, but we got two hides. And sometimes, you know, those low number days like this are the memorable ones. And it's been a tough day, but it's been a good day. Got out in the bush, so I'm happy with that. Thanks very much for coming along. Hope you all enjoyed the video. See you on the next one. Bye for now.